my name is Kirin, and I will be reviewing the new movie Poor Things whilst my edible kicks in. Thank you. So, let me start off by what this film is. Who did this film? The film is described as a 2023. Let's read this. Let me make sure I got it right on the Wikipedia. So it is described as a 2023 science fantasy black comedy film.
Race?
It's directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. I don't know why I put a Spanish accent on it. It is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and written by Tony McNamara and is based on the 1992 novel by Alistair Gray by the same name. The film stars Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, William Dafoe, Remy Youssef, Christopher Abbott, and Jared Carmichael, which...
Please just tell me you're gay so this all makes sense.
That's great. When was the last time y'all fucking saw Carmichael? But anyways, so I watched the film. My friend Rachel gave me free tickets to see the film, and me and my girlfriend ran. We were like, "Purr, movie looks gorgeous. The trailer looks gorgeous. It's giving." We enter the film. We're like, "Okay, it's giving." A bunch of ads in the film. Comment down below if you have been seeing way too much ads at the movie theaters before the movies lately, because it's getting out of hand. But anyways, so we went in. We already knew the crowd that was going to be there, white hipster. And if you're a white hipster watching this, hey girl. So we went in there, we saw your people, and now I'm talking back to my people. So my people, I saw a bunch of white hipsters. We already knew what type of time it was going to be on, but I don't know why I didn't do any research for the film. Based off the way the film looked, I thought it was a white woman that did it. It had that little white woman, y'all know the look. It had that look on it. But I found out later that the costume designer is a white woman. So yeah. We go in, we're like, purr. We already know what type of time it's on. Emma Stone, fuck with Easy A. Like, I love that bitch. The movie starts and we're like, purr, interesting. Purr, colors, looks, camera angles, different cameras, purr. Then we see Bella. And then we were like, Bella's mumbling and cackling.
Someone sitting home mumbling and cackling.
Bella's doing this. Bella can barely walk. Bella can barely talk. It kind of gave me flashbacks to that Sia movie with Maddie. What was it called? Music. Gave me a little bit of flashbacks to there, but I was like, you know what? Let me not go there. Let's see where the movie goes. So we keep watching. I'm uncomfortable. My girlfriend's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. The movie's uncomfortable. Like, if you've seen the movie, you know that the movie's uncomfortable. If you haven't, the movie's uncomfortable. The movie's uncomfortable. Then eventually we get established that the reason she's acting like this, and in parentheses, the like this is very much borderline disabled core type of vibes, like very not politically correct for right now, very why they got Emma Stone acting like this, very that. And then it is established that the reason that she's acting like this is because she has the brain of the baby.
Your grandmama's the baby.
That she once had in her belly. And I was like, okay, interesting. Like, Frankenstein, okay, purr. okay, like maybe this makes the borderline ableism a little bit better. Maybe it does that. And I'm like, okay, at least they explained that. The next scene right after, and this may be the only real scene that I break down, because this scene really, like, I don't really know how to explain it. This scene really made the movie take a different turn for me. Like, we were 30 minutes in, and I was like, okay, like, it's already kind of weird because they have Emma Stone acting, acting interesting. And then we understand now that they don't have her acting disabled. She's a baby. Okay, she's a baby. Immediately after she's established as a baby, all of a sudden, she's pushing fruits up her. And me and my girlfriend turned and looked at each other like this. And we're like, that's funny. That's interesting.
That's suspicious.
Interesting. So I'm like, okay, it's interesting. We're already stuck in the movie. We had free tickets, so we're like, fuck, we're here. At that point, I was really like, I don't know where this movie's going. And I can tell that everybody else in the audience is blinded by the fact that this movie is so pretty, this movie is so beautiful, this movie is so whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, that was really off. Why did we establish that she was a baby and now she's being sexualized? What's that? And I'm like, okay, let me keep watching the movie. All of a sudden, Miss Mamas can't stop thinking about sex. All of a sudden, her entire being is consumed by the fact that she's having these urgings. Her entire concept of existence is now being moved and pulled by just the fact that she wants to have these exploits. All of a sudden, Mark Ruffalo comes out of nowhere, finds her in a closet, starts touching her body without consent. Me, I was like, hey! Not me trying to censor and then I say that, Anyways, whole time I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? And me as a young femme who uses critical thinking and went to art school, so was taught how to interpret art, I knew that was weird. And I don't care how many people review this movie and tell me that it's some incredible feminist allegory. It is not a feminist allegory. It can't be a feminist allegory because it was written by a man. It cannot be it's not a feminist or allegory. At no point outside of sewing and picking cute clothes was a woman involved in this movie. It cannot be a feminist allegory. But everybody's saying it's a feminist allegory. And when I was watching it, I could tell that it was a movie trying really hard to be a feminist allegory, if that makes sense. Like, I could see that in it. A movie trying very hard to be a feminist allegory whilst being extremely misogynistic. So all of a sudden, Mark Ruffalo is in the closet. No. All of a sudden, Mark Ruffalo's. All of a sudden, now they're in Portugal. And me, I'm like, what is going on? If my calculations are correct, they said, and me, y'all already know spoilers are in the movie. So if you're watching it, you must have already watched the movie. So I'm talking to you like we're in front of each other. if my calculations are correct, they said in the movie her hair grows an inch, and that means, fuck, I don't even remember. Like, her hair grows 5 inches, and that means that that's 1 year of her life that's passed. Yes, that's what it was. Her hair grew 5 inches, and it means that that's 1 year of her life has passed. Some that around that number. And based off the calculations based off my lace front knowledge, that baby's brain, by the time that she was in Portugal, was no more than 12 years old. So here we are, the sexualization of a baby. The baby's brain in this woman's body is in Portugal with a man and now she's just having sex with him constantly. Mind you, mama can barely talk, read, or write. Mama can barely talk, read, or write. And she's having sexapades with Mark Ruffalo in Portugal. And she's on a cruise with Carmichael. Guys, it was weird. It was weird. Dare I say, it was dangerous. And eventually, time passed. All of a sudden, she's a prostitute in France. All of a sudden, this underdeveloped brothel runner character is biting her. All of a sudden, she's having lesbian sex with a black girl. Guys, I want us to sit down and be honest. I would love for us to sit down and look beyond pretty visual pictures. I'm a visual artist. I'm a visual artist by trade. My work is in visual art. This is my most recent piece. Like, I'm not a piece of shit artist. I want us to look beyond pretty pictures and do one Google search and do critical thinking. Baby Bella can barely read, write, or talk. And she's on sexapades with Mark Ruffalo in Portugal. How is that a feminist allegory? That sounds like pedophilia to me. And people may say, Kadeen, you're reaching. That's a reach. Is it? Is it a reach? Is it a reach in a world where Lolita exists? Is it a reach in a world where Jeffrey Epstein exists? Is it a reach when we are in 2024 calling a movie written, directed by men based off a book that was written by a man about a girl having sexual maturation whilst being a baby's brain can exist? But honestly, like, I didn't really come on here to have any, like, I don't know what to say. I didn't come on here to try and prove how artistically inclined I am. I didn't come on here to prove how many words I know. I didn't come on here to prove to people that I know what Dada and absurdism is. I came on here to talk as a femme person watching this movie who has a critical lens on movie and TV. That this shit is weird. But unfortunately, we live in a world where this movie is gonna win Oscars over The Color Purple. That's the movie that we live in. That's the world that we live in. That's the movie that we live in. That's the world that we live in. We live in a world where this quote unquote feminist allegory that is written by a group of men is going to be getting Oscars over an actual feminist allegory. At this point, I'm just screaming into the camera. But you know what? This is where I'm going to end this. I have nothing else to say. So if you want to watch the movie, watch the movie. It's cute. But be honest with yourself in the movie. Like, if you like it, you like it. But I think if you like it, you should actually question what other forms of media do you like. You should question how much borderline pedophilic media you consume. But that's all I have to say. Like, fuck. Like, I have nothing else to say. I have absolutely nothing else to say. Like, I guess this is going to be my first YouTube video, and I'm kind of okay with that. But stay tuned. I'm not only going to do rants and reviews. I will be doing a lot of stuff. So, bye.